Yeah, good morning students. Today I am going to discuss about the course and course structure and evaluation system. The Department of Chemistry, Telangana University offering the two PG courses. One is MSc Chemistry with the specialization Organic Chemistry. And the second course is MSc Chemistry with the specialization Pharmaceutical Chemistry. Now these are the two PG courses offered by the Department of Chemistry of the 2 years duration. So each course duration is 2 years. Let us know its structure, the course structure. So each PG course, that is MSc Organic Chemistry as well as MSc Pharmaceutical Chemistry, has 4 semesters. MSc has 4 semesters. Semester 1, Semester 2, Semester 3 and Semester 4. There are 4 semesters for each course. MSc either of Organic Chemistry or Pharmaceutical Chemistry. Now the first semester consisting 4 theory papers, 3 practical papers. Theory 1, theory paper 2, theory paper 3, theory paper 4, practical paper 1, practical paper 2, practical paper 3. So the first semester of the course consists of 4 theory papers and 3 practical papers. The first paper corresponds to inorganic chemistry, the second paper corresponds to organic chemistry, third paper theory corresponds to physical chemistry, the fourth paper related to analytical techniques and spectroscopy. So these are the 4 theory papers. Now coming to the other 3 practical papers. The first practical paper belongs to inorganic practical, the second paper belongs to organic chemistry, the third paper belongs to physical chemistry. Now each theory paper consists of 100 marks. Each theory paper consists of 100 marks. 100. Now each practical paper assigned with 75 marks. 75 marks. So the total maximum marks for first semester is 400 for theory, 225 per practical papers. So total 625 marks. So the maximum marks for first semester includes 625 marks. Is it clear? Now coming to second semester, it is again similar to first semester. Theory 1, theory 2, theory 3, theory 4, practical 1, practical 2, practical 3. Again there are 4 theory papers, 3 practical papers included in the semester 2. First paper belongs to inorganic chemistry 2, second paper is organic chemistry, third paper is physical chemistry, fourth paper is analytical techniques and spectroscopy. Practical paper 1 inorganic chemistry, practical paper 2 organic chemistry, practical paper 3 physical chemistry. Marks are same. The theory paper consists 100 marks. 100 marks here, 100 marks, 100 marks for theory, 75 marks, 75 marks, 75 marks, total 625 marks. The maximum marks for second semester is also same, that is 625. So these are the 2 semester of first year MSc. This is first year MSc. Now coming to third semester. The third semester consists of 4 theory papers, 2 practical papers. Theory 1, Theory 2, Theory 3, Theory 4, Practical 1, Practical 2. Theory 1, Theory 2, Theory 3, Theory 4, Practical 1 and Practical 2. Now here the third semester, first paper and second paper, third and fourth paper, all the papers are related to organic chemistry with each 100 marks, 100 marks, 100 marks, 100 marks. Now practical paper 1, practical paper 2 is assigned to 100 marks in each, 100 marks, 100 marks, total 600. So maximum marks for third semester is 600. So here 4 theory papers corresponding to organic specialization. There is no inorganic and physical chemistry in the third semester, that is in the second year. So you have to learn the inorganic and physical chemistry up to first year, that is up to second semester only. Coming to fourth semester, similar to third semester, the fourth semester also include 4 theory papers. Theory paper 1, theory paper 2, theory paper 3, theory paper 4. Practical paper 1, practical paper 2. Paper 1 has 100 marks, paper 2 has 100 marks, 100 marks, 100 marks, practical also 100 marks. Practical papers are also includes 100 marks. Similar to third semester, for the fourth semester has 4 theory papers belongs to organic chemistry. Practical, there are 2 practical papers with each 100 marks. Maximum marks for each practical paper is 100. Again here the practicals are also belongs to organic chemistry. The total maximum marks is 600. The total maximum marks for fourth semester also 600. So this is second year. This is second year. So second year has the 2 semesters, semester 3 and semester 4. Each semester has 600 marks. Now the first semester 625, second semester 625, third semester 600 and fourth semester 600. Total maximum marks for a course is 2450. 2450 maximum marks. Maximum marks for course is 2450. Now here for both MSc Organic Chemistry, MSc Pharmaceutical Chemistry, first year syllabus is common. Whatever the papers included in the first 2 semester, semester 1 and semester 2 are common papers, are same papers for both course students, MSc Organic Chemistry, MSc Pharmaceutical Chemistry. There is no difference in the syllabus. Coming to third semester. Now in the third semester, paper 1, paper 2 is again common for both organic and pharma chemistry students. Are you following? Paper third semester, paper 1, paper 2 are common for MSc Organic Chemistry students and for MSc Pharmaceutical Chemistry students. Now coming to theory paper 3, theory paper 4. Paper 3 and paper 4 syllabus is different for organic students and for pharmaceutical chemistry students. So there is a 2 paper difference in the third semester. Now practicals. There are 2 practical papers in the third semester. Again, the practical syllabus is also different for organic and for pharmacochemistry students. Only first two papers are common for both course students. In the same way, fourth semester again paper 1 and paper 2 are common for organic and pharma students, but paper 3 and paper 4 are different. For organic students, there is only organic syllabus included in the MSc Organic Chemistry course. For pharma students, paper 3, paper 4 belongs to pharmaceutical chemistry, like molecular modeling, QC, QA, quality control, quality assurance, etc. So there is a 2 paper difference in the fourth semester. Similarly, practical paper 1, practical paper 2 are also different for OC and PC students. Is it clear? No. Out of the course structure, there are 4 theory papers in the first sem, 4 theory in the second sem, 4 theory papers in the third sem, 4 theory papers in the fourth sem. So total 16 theory papers for a course. Out of 16 theory papers, 12 papers are common for organic and pharma students. There is a difference of only 4 theory papers for both organic and pharma students. Now for organic chemistry students, in their third semester, paper 3, paper 4 includes organic chemistry subject. For pharma students, paper 3, paper 4 includes pharmaceutical chemistry syllabus or topics in the syllabus. In the same way, fourth semester, paper 1, paper 2 are also same, but paper 3, paper 4 are different. Now, coming to practical, the third semester practical 2 papers, fourth semester practical 2 papers are also different for both courses students. This is about course structure. Let us discuss each paper with how many chapters included. Now, each paper so whatever in the semester, each paper contain 4 units or 4 chapters. Each paper contain 4 units or 4 chapters. Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4. So there are 4 units or 4 chapters included in each paper. Is it clear? In either first semester or either second semester or either third or either fourth semester. So this is about the course structure. And coming to the evaluation system. Evaluation system. Evaluation. The students in each course is evaluated. Organic chemistry course or pharmaceutical chemistry paper, pharmaceutical chemistry course, the students in each paper is evaluated as 70:30 ratio or 30:70 ratio. So each paper consists of 100. Each theory paper consists of 100 marks. 100 marks. And the student has been evaluated in the ratio of 30:70. 30:70. The evaluation in each paper in each semester for each student. We know that each paper has 100 marks. It is divided as a 30:70 ratio, where 30 marks for internal assessment, 70 marks for university exam, that is external examination. External examination. This is so a paper, each paper of 100 marks is divided as 30 marks and 70 marks. 30 marks for internal assessment. Marks is assigned for internal assessment. The student has been assessed by the internal teacher, that is internal assessment. Now 70 marks are assigned for external examination, that is university examination. External. External examination. Is it clear? Now let us discuss in detail about the internal assessment and external assessment, external examination. Now internal assessment includes conduct of internal examination 2 times. Internal assessment for 30 marks. For 30 marks in each paper is assessed with the internal assessment examination. There are 2 internal assessment for each paper. Internal assessment 1, internal assessment. IA. This is for 30 marks. For each paper. So 2 internal assessments were conducted in each paper for 30 marks in each examination. That is internal assessment 1, internal assessment 2. Are you following? In each paper, the internal assessment consists of 30 marks. It is conducted 2 times. First internal assessment, second internal assessment. First internal assessment conducted for 30 marks. Second internal assessment is also conducted for 30 marks. The first internal assessment includes a questions from Unit 1 and Unit 2, that is Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. First internal assessment is conducted in each paper for Chapter 1, Chapter 2 of the paper. Unit 1 and 2. Second internal assessment is conducted from the chapters of 3, Unit 3 and Unit 4. Unit 3 and Unit 4. Unit 3 and Unit 4. Here, first internal assessment is conducted for 30 marks. Second internal also conducted for 30 marks. Is it clear? So, in each paper, the internal assessment will be conducted. The maximum marks for internal assessment is 30. It is conducted twice. One is internal assessment 1, other one is internal assessment 2. This is for 30 marks. This is also for 30 marks. The first internal assessment consists of questions belonging from Unit 1 and Unit 2 of the paper. Second internal assessment consists of a questions from Unit 3 and Unit 4. As we earlier discussed that each paper has 4 units. So, half of the syllabus of each paper is conducted for first internal assessment. The remaining half of the syllabus is conducted for second internal assessment. The first internal assessment is a pen paper based. It is a pen paper based. Pen paper based. Pen and paper based. So, first internal assessment is conducted by pen and paper method based. The second internal assessment is conducted computer based, that is CBT system. So the two assessments for each paper, the first one is conducted pen paper based system. The second one is conducted by computer based test, CBT. It is called as CBT, computer based test. Now coming to the model, the first internal assessment is conducted for 30 marks, consists of the questions from unit 1 and unit 2 of the paper, belongs to pen paper based, has a model. First internal assessment for 30 marks of pen paper based. Now it is conducted for 30 marks of unit 1 and unit 2. Now it consists of the model paper for first internal. As it is a pen paper based, it has some model. Now the question paper consists of 10 multiple choice questions, each carries half marks. 10 multiple choice questions, 10 multiple choice questions, each carry half marks. Therefore there is a 5 marks. So multiple choice questions are given for 5 marks, each question carry half marks. There are 10 multiple choice questions and 10 fill up the blanks type questions. 10 questions of fill in the blanks, each question carry half marks. Into half is equal to 5 marks. This is also 5 marks. The part 3, 5 questions of short answer type. Short answer type, each question carry 2 marks. 2 marks. Total become 10 marks. Total become 10 marks. So 5 marks of multiple choice question, 5 marks for fill up the blanks type question, 10 marks is assigned for short answer type question. Each question carry 2 marks. There are 5 questions. Is it clear? So the total marks become 20. 5 plus 5 plus 10, 20. Now there are remaining 10 marks. Remaining 10 marks, that is MCQ into half is equal to 5. 10 fill up the blanks type questions into half is equal to 5. 5 short answer type questions into 2 marks is equal to 10 marks. Now 5 marks are assigned for assignment. An assignment is given to each student in a particular topic belonging to unit 1 or unit 2 of the paper. Assignment. Assignment. A 5 marks are assigned for a assignment to be prepared by each student in each paper of unit 1 and unit 2 topic. Next, student seminar. Seminar. A 5 marks are assigned for a seminar. For a seminar, each student has to present on board whatever the topic he chosen or selected for the preparation of his assignment. The seminar has 5 marks. So a 5 marks are awarded for a seminar based on the performance of the student presented. A topic has been chosen for the preparation of his assignment. Now you can see. So first internal assessment for each paper, is a pen paper based system of 5 marks for multiple choice question, 5 marks for fill up the blanks, 10 marks for short answer type question, 5 marks are assigned for preparation of assignment, and 5 marks are assigned for seminar. So total become 30. So every student in every paper is assessed for its first internal assessment with a 30 marks. Is it clear? Coming to second internal assessment. Second internal assessment. Now second internal assessment is conducted for again 30 marks. For again 30 marks, including the topics of unit 3 and unit 4. Unit 3 and unit 4. Unit 3 and unit 4. Now this test, the second internal assessment, is based on computer based test, CBT method. CBT, it is conducted in a CBT method. Its model includes 20 questions of multiple choice. There are 20 questions of multiple choice, carry each 1 mark into 1 mark is equal to 20 marks. Is equal to 20 marks. Now 5 marks are assigned for assignment. Assignment. There is a 5 marks. And seminar presentation. Seminar 5 marks. The presentation of seminar by each student in second internal assessment includes 5 marks. Now here in brief, it has a 20 multiple choice questions, each carry 1 marks, it become 20 marks, maximum 20. 5 marks are assigned for the preparation of assignment, 5 marks are assigned for presentation of seminar on the topic to which the student has prepared his assignment. Total become 30. Is it clear? So in each paper, in each semester, the internal assessment will be conducted in this way. One is pen paper based, the second one is computer based, each for 30 marks, conducted each assessment for 30 marks. Then award of the marks. Coming to award. Coming to award of the marks for internal assessment. For internal assessment of 30 maximum. 30 marks maximum in each paper. Now the average of two internal, the average marks secured by each student in 2 internal assessment will be awarded. The average marks secured in each internal assessment by the student will be given or will be awarded as final internal assessment marks for 30 maximum. 30 maximum. For example, a student has secured internal assessment 1, internal assessment 2. If a student has secured internal assessment 1, say 22 marks out of 30. Now in internal assessment 2 has secured 20 marks out of 30. Are you following? So a student, if secured a 22 marks in the first internal assessment, 20 marks in the second internal assessment, in each in a paper, then the award of marks will be the average of the marks secured by the students in first internal and in second internal, that is 22 plus 20 divided by 2 there is an average is equal to say 21 divided by 30. That is 21 marks is awarded for 30 maximum. Are you following? So this is the method of awarding of internal assessment marks. There is an average system, no best of two, no best of two system. There is an average system of award of internal assessment marks. 22 plus 20 divided by 2 exams is become 21. So 21 marks is awarded for 30 maximum for an internal assessment in one paper. Is it clear? So this is the procedure to award the marks. If any student not attended to any assessment examination, either one or either two, for example, a student has secured internal assessment 1, internal assessment 2, he secured say 22 marks for 30, 22 marks for 30, but absent for second internal assessment. If he absent for second internal assessment, again there is an average system. That is, whatever the marks secured in the first internal assessment will be averaged. That is 22 plus 0, as there is an absent in the second internal assessment, divided by 2 become equal to 11. So 11 marks is awarded for 30. 11 marks is awarded for 30. Therefore, every student, each and every student in each and every paper has to attend the 2 internal assessment examinations conducted by the department to secure a good marks in internal assessment, as whatever the marks secured in the internal assessment is the support to that of the external marks secured in the external assessment or external examination, that is university examination, to get good score out of 100. Is it clear? So this is the method of internal assessment. Now there is a condition. There is no re-evaluation of the marks secured once. Are you following? There is no re-evaluation of the marks in internal assessment. Whatever the marks given by your concerned teacher will be the final. There is no negotiation, there is no re-evaluation. This is the first condition. Next, condition 2. There is no reconducting of the internal assessment, either 1 or 2, if a student fails to attend or absent in any internal assessment examination. These are the 2 conditions. You be careful. Do not absent for any internal assessment, because there is an average system and there is no re-evaluation. Whatever the marks given by your internal teacher will be the final, and there is no reconducting. Therefore you should not absent. If you absent, you secure 0 marks in internal assessment. Is it clear? Now coming to university exam. This is about internal assessment examination for each paper. Coming to university examination, that is external examination. External university examination. Now the Telangana University, in each course the university examinations will be conducted at the end of each semester. At the end of each semester, end exams. So exams will be conducted at the end of each semester for 70 marks for each paper. 70 marks per paper. As 30 marks, that is the for 30 marks the internal assessment will be conducted by the department, not university, by the department, and for 70 marks in each, so every paper has 100 marks, 30 marks already conducted for internal assessment by the department head concerned, and remaining the 70 marks for each paper, the university examination will be conducted at the end of each semester. Now for the model paper, the model paper. So the question paper consisting, end semester examination question paper consists of two sections, section A, section B. Section A and section B. Section A consisting of short answer type questions, short answers type questions. Section B contain long answer type question, long answer type questions, Section A consists of 5 questions, each 4 marks, 5 questions, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Each question carry 4 marks. Therefore, 4 into 5 questions is equal to 20. 4 into 5 questions is equal to 20. There is no chance. Question 1 belongs to unit 1 of the paper, unit 1. Question 1 come from unit 1 of the syllabus. Question 2 belongs to unit 2. Question 3 belongs to unit 3. Question 4 corresponds to unit 4. Question 5 may came from any unit. So every paper has 4 units. Short answer type question 1 to 4 belongs to unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4. Question 5 may came from any unit. So each question carry 4 marks. Total 5 questions are there. It become 20 marks. Coming to section B. Section B contain 5 questions of long answer type. Each carry 10 marks. 5 questions into 10 marks is equal to 50. It has a 50 marks. Now, long answer type questions, it has a 5. Section B has a 5 questions. 1A, 1B or 1B, 2A or 2B, 3A or 3B, 4A or 4B, 5A or 5B. Now, section B consists of 5 questions. Each question carry 10 marks. First question has internal chance. The first question is belonging to unit 1. Second question belongs to unit 2, third unit 3, fourth question unit 4, fifth question may came from any unit. So each long question has an internal choice, 1A or 1B. A student has to attend either question 1A or 1B with his choice, question 2A or question 2B, or 3A or 3B. Not to attempt A and B, you can attend either of your choice of A or B. There is an internal choice. So question 5 came from any unit among 1, 2, 3, 4 units of the paper. So here the university end examination of each semester question paper consists of two sections, section A for 20 marks, section B for 50 marks, total of 70 marks. This is the model paper. Then award of the marks. Award of the marks. So 70 marks, for 70 marks the university examinations will be conducted. In order to pass, a student in each paper has to secure 40% marks, not marks, 40% marks in university examination, as well as 40% marks in a paper of both university and internal assessment. Are you following? The award of the marks in each paper is with a student, in order to pass, has to secure 40% marks in an university examination, and as well as the 40% marks in both internal and university examination in each paper. Like say this is paper internal assessment for 30 marks, university examination for 70 marks. Result. Say paper 1. There is no minimum marks for internal assessment. Okay, but there is a 40% of marks to be secured in university examination for 70 marks, 70 maximum marks in order to pass. For 70 marks, 40% marks become 28. This is a 40%. Now here, the final result, a student has to secure 40% in both internal and external. Say internal assessment, say 40% means 12 marks. This is 40%. Now here 12 plus 28, it is equal to 40. This is 40%. Then pass. The final result is pass. You can observe in the table. Whatever the end exam, university exam, which is conducted for 70 marks, the student has to secure 40% marks. Means student has to secure minimum of 28 marks. Clear? Now, for final result, in order to pass in a paper, the student has to secure 40% of overall marks, including internal and an university examination. That means the final total should be 40, as each paper consists of 100 marks. The 40%, in order to secure a 40%, the student final total should be 40. So if in order to get the final total marks as 40, the student has to secure minimum 28 marks of university conducted for university examination and minimum 12 marks in internal assessment examination. 12 plus 28, it becomes 40. Suppose if a student has secured 20 marks in internal assessment, 20 marks In university examination, the total become 40, 20 marks internal, 20 marks university examination, the total become 40, this is 40% out of 100, but fail. The final result will be fail. However, secured the total of 40 marks, but the final result will be fail, because the university examination marks also should be 40%, should be 40%. Even a student secured higher marks in internal assessment but fails to secure minimum 28 marks in university, the final result will be fail. Is it clear? Now this is the award of the marks. Once again, to pass in each paper, student must secure 40% marks in a university examination which is conducted for 70 marks, as well as 40% of marks in both internal and external conducted for 30:70 ratio for 100 marks. Otherwise there is a fail. So these two columns should be 40%. This column should be 40%. This column is also should be 40%. Is it clear? But suppose if a student has secured say 35 marks in extra, say 30 marks in external, but only 7 marks in internal, total become 37. Total become 37. You see, a student has secured more than 40% in the university examination, that is 30, but the total percentage is only 37. Here also this is not 40%, therefore final result fail. Even you secure a minimum 40% marks in the university exam, if you fail to secure 40% in the end, that is for 100 internal and external, the final result will be fail. This is the evaluation system of the course. Now the university examination which is conducted for 70 marks will be evaluated by the two examiners, internal examiner and external examiner, two examiners, and then there is no re-evaluation of the answer script in any circumstances, as already two individual examiners were evaluated. Therefore there is no re-evaluation. If any student fail in any paper of the course, has to appear must for a supplementary examination. There is no option of re-evaluation. Is it clear? So this is about re-evaluation system. Now in our department, that is Department of Telangana University, Department of Chemistry of Telangana University, there are two gold medal sponsorship. One gold medal is awarded to a student who secured highest marks in MSc Organic Chemistry course, and the second gold medal is for the student who secured highest marks among all women candidates appeared. So one is for general, one is for only women. The women candidate who secured highest marks in a course among all students, the gold medal will be awarded. So this is about the course and course structure and an evaluation system. With this, I complete my today's discussion. I will take one more class for choice based credit system, credits in each paper, total credits of the course, and grade points you secured in a course. With this I complete today's lecture. Thank you very much.